once again. It's a pleasure to be in your space once again. Now, today's question is something I'd like us to just consider for sports fans in Nigeria. It's a little bit over a month to the AFCON 2022 that will be holding in Cameroon next year. So now the question is, should Genort Rohr be sacked as the coach of Super Eagles? Should Genort Rohr be sacked as coach of Super Eagles? Immediately after the match against the Cape Verde in Lagos, a lot of calls have been made. People are still making the calls that Coach Genort Rohr should be sacked and then he should be replaced. He's not the right person for the job. He's not the right fit for the job. Many criticisms have followed Coach Genort Rohr. Well, it's nothing new to Nigerian football, to sports lovers, to football lovers in this country. Over 150 million people, and seemingly the only thing that unites us is football. And when the Super Eagles, our flagship team, does not perform well or outstandingly, it will raise a lot of concerns and dust. So many calls have been made for Genort Rohr to be sacked and replaced. Well, as it stands, Genort Rohr is the longest serving Super Eagles coach. He took over in 2016 and then he's been here till now. He's taken us to the World Cup in Russia and then he took us to the last AFCON where we finished as the bronze medalists in that competition. But I just take a look at the stats of Coach Genort Rohr, the teams he has managed, and then I'll show you the stats. Well, you can look at that. You can look at that on the screen. The stats of the teams that Genort Rohr has managed. As for the Super Eagles, well, first of all, you can see that Genort Rohr, one of my major criticisms against him, or my major concerns with Coach Rohr, is that for a coach of the Super Eagles is one of the top ranked teams in Africa. We're among the top 5 in Africa as we speak. But Coach Genort Rohr for the Super Eagles is the only grade A team that Coach Rohr has managed. The Super Eagles is the only big team that he has managed. And then the bronze medal in the last AFCON was his highest achievement in his managerial career. And so, looking at the stats, he's played 64 games for the Super Eagles. He's lost quite a number. He's won quite a number. But Coach Rohr, well, for me, he is an average coach. And the Super Eagles are not an average team. We have players performing in the top leagues in the world, in the French league, the Italian league, the English Premier League, in the top leagues in the world. We have players performing at high levels, at top levels. And this coach, this average coach, cannot be entrusted with managing excellent players. The result is that we'll get average results. And so, after the game against Cape Verde, it was clear. It's not like it's not been clear all along. We've seen this happen in big competitions. When we were at the World Cup, we played Argentina, we played Croatia. We could see that the Super Eagles had no technical foundation. There was no technical foundation. We could not respond to situations when the team was under pressure, when the team was pitched backwards, when the team was put at the receiving end of flurries of attacks. We could not respond. The odd game we could win was that against Ireland, the Ahmed Musa show. And I think it all came down to, well, Iceland, I beg your pardon, Iceland could be said to be, well, an average team, a team that luckily qualified for the World Cup. And so when we got to that game, we flexed our muscles against them. But when it came to the big boys, to Croatia, to Argentina, we could not handle the pressure. Genort Rohr could not stand up or rise up to the occasion. So should Genort Rohr be sacked as a coach? Absolutely, I think he should, but I think it would be foolish and careless to sack Genort Rohr with just over a month to the AFCON and then replace him with another European coach or another American coach or a foreign coach. It would be foolishly careless to do that. We need a coach that is abreast with our local situation, a coach that can relate to the passions of Nigeria, a coach that is well inspired to succeed, not just about the money, but someone who is passionate for Nigerian football. We need a local coach that can take us there. Our most success in the past decade has been local coaches. We could see the local coaches have taken, except for the gold medal Bonfrey Joe won at the 96 Olympics. Every other success has been with local coaches. Coach Stephen Keshi of Blessed Memory, he was the one who took us to our last AFCON victory, and he executed that competition with many local players. So I think a local coach who understands our predicament as Super Eagles, as Nigerians, should be entrusted with that. There are many local coaches that are more qualified than Genort Rohr. They are better placed to handle the team than Genort Rohr. We spend $500,000 every month paying Genort Rohr, and he doesn't even live in Nigeria. That's amazing. How many times have we paid the local coach to coach the Super Eagles and paid him that same amount? If we paid our local coaches that kind of amount, I can assure you we would win the World Cup. But we don't, and that's the challenge with our football management. The problem with Genort Rohr is not just with him alone, but it is with football management. When our leaders in football, in the glass house, in NFF, when they want to hire coaches, when they place political ambitions and political considerations above or ahead of the interest of Nigerians and football lovers, this is what you get. You get coaches like Genort Rohr as those who coach. And then when we have local coaches who are competent, we have had situations when, for instance, Samson Siasia went to the Olympics and then Nigeria could not even afford the jerseys the players used in playing. It was so bad. We couldn't even afford jerseys that players used in playing. Players of the national team supported the national team financially, and we had an NFF. It's the same story all along. It's the same story all along. Even when Keshi won the AFCON, it was the same story. The local coaches were put under pressure. In fact, it was reported Keshi was told that whether he should win the AFCON or else he will be sacked. And then the players took it upon themselves to play and defend the coach's integrity. So it's a shame for Genort Rohr. He's been receiving humongous amounts in salaries, and yet he stays abroad. He comes to Nigeria maybe 2 weeks or 1 week before the game, and then assembles players. And then what do we have? Our team lacks cohesion. Our team lacks character. There's no identifiable style of play in the team. There's no technical foundation in the team. So when we're put under pressure, we don't see any technical response. All we get is just, the obvious changes, the obvious substitutions, putting a good player, putting a better player, not even a better player, a player that, the same options. We could see in the games against Cape Verde and in the game against Sierra Leone, where we surrendered a 4-goal lead to draw 4-4, and it's a shame, and then it's a disappointment. So I think Genort Rohr should be sacked, but if we must sack him, we should replace him with the local coach. My suggestion is Emmanuel Amunike. He's been one of the most successful local coaches in Nigeria. He's been doing great. He's been coaching, and then he's been improving. He's been the one responsible for the development of players like Victor Osimhen and then Kelechi Iheanacho and all that. So he understands these players better. He was responsible for their growth, for their development. They would respect him, and then he understands the winning mentality of the Super Eagles, the die-hard spirit. It's in him. He's played for the Eagles. He understands it. So I think he will be better. But then the question is, will he be given the adequate and requisite support? Sunday Olise became coach and he was never supported. He was never given the full support, and then he unceremoniously left the position. And since then, it's been like that. So, well, while I say sack Genort Rohr, I think we should replace him with a local coach. If we're going to replace him with a foreign coach, I think it's foolishly careless, because the AFCON is just a matter of weeks away. We can't take him out and bring in someone who is a foreign coach, who has no, at least, experience with the African Nations Cup. So my take is, you can sack Genort Rohr, but if you must sack him, bring a local coach. So if you don't have any local coach in mind to bring, then don't sack him at all. Leave him at the end of the AFCON. In fact, in his contract, one of the terms of his contract we hear is that he should qualify Nigeria for the AFCON and qualify Nigeria for the World Cup. There's no guarantees that he should win any of those tournaments, but he should qualify them for that. So if he's qualified them, then he can be sacked. But if there's no local coach, you think NFF, you think we don't have a local coach to replace Genort Rohr, then simply leave him there after the AFCON. You can replace him, if you will, with foreign coaches. But the problem with this is that our football management in Nigeria needs to improve. It's a story that we cannot overstate or overtell. It's something sports writers every day complain on radio, on TV, on every channel. We complain about this. The football management in Nigeria needs to improve. The league in other countries is approaching the 13th week, the 15th week of gameplay. The league in Nigeria is yet to kick off 3 months after the league ended. And this is a shame. This is a shame. Our country, we can't continue like this in a country where we have over 150 million people, and then more than half of that number support football, are lovers of football, and then we don't have a working league. Both for our male and female footballers, we don't have a working league. Our league management is poor, and that's one of the reasons why Coach Genort Rohr can decide to stay wherever he is based and then coach Nigerian Super Eagles from anywhere. Well, I don't blame him. Even our president does that, so why wouldn't he do that? So, but in the meantime, my opinion, you can sack Rohr, but if you must sack him, replace him with a local coach. If you can't replace him with a local coach, then don't sack him at all. Wait till after the AFCON, and then you can sack Coach Rohr. I'll be back shortly with my eye leadership lesson for today. Don't go anywhere. My eye leadership lesson for today is selflessness. Selflessness. Leaders must develop the attitude of selflessness. Selflessness is putting yourself last before the priority of the group or the collective priority. And that's one thing that leaders must do. We must always try as much as we can that in every situation, consider first of all, what is the collective benefit? What is the benefit for the group? What is the benefit for the people you lead? What is the benefit for the situation that will be collective for everybody to enjoy before thinking about what you would benefit as a person? Many times we've seen this play out, especially now we're talking about sports. We've seen this play out in Nigerian sports management a lot of times. Our leaders do all they can. They go the extra mile to make sure that they enjoy all the packages and benefits that accrue to them as political leaders, as sports leaders. But then they forget, or they deliberately decide to forgo the benefits that accrue to the team, to the Nigerian people, to the players. And so we've never heard that anybody in the NFF is being owed salaries, but we hear every time that Super Eagles players are being owed salaries and allowances. We've never heard that travel plans were not made for NFF officials, but we always hear that travel plans are lacking for Super Eagles players and all that. So it all boils down to selflessness. We have more selfish leaders than selfless leaders. And when we have more selfish leaders than selfless leaders, what we have is failure, not success. So for us to succeed in our leadership, we must put selflessness as one of our core values. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back with other videos. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification button. See you next time, child. God bless you.